motion to approve the minutes from November 7th.
Motion or second?
Okay.
One of
All in
the
favor,
above.
say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have no remarks since I'm not the president. The only remark is the president thought he just had a cold and he was in pretty bad shape with that. And now he's gotten what he thinks are kidney stones, so he was in a Nova today. Emergency, and so he thinks he's probably out of commission for a week or so.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Good way to skip a meeting, but
Yeah,
a
right.
painful way to do it.
Fake it.
Okay, you want to give us a office update?
Indeed. Good news is I collected $12,386 from 12 accounts that have been in arrears for a while, just through emails and claims and things like that. So that's good. And also, surprisingly, this was old. Collected $1,606 from an estate of a woman who I don't know, a couple of years ago, I went back and forth with her attorney. This is what's owed, and so on and so forth. I was contacted this past 6 months by the niece or whoever, relative who was inheriting, and they sent me a check, $1,606.
Wow.
Like, I hadn't even filed a claim, and she was actually in the uncollectible list. So, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, you made a decision to not put those into a permanent sort of status. So that was a good decision, because actually we've collected on a few of those kinds of things. So it's good to leave them there, even though it doesn't look very nice on the
Well, I think some people
balance
actually
sheet.
pay attention to their estates and their
Yes.
estate liabilities, and
Exactly.
they'll try to clean them all up.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That's good, that's very good.
Yeah,
Not
I was
not everybody's a
pleasantly
deadbeat.
surprised.
Yeah.
The insurance, Mike, you asked about any update on that. I had sent the agent an email on the 20th, and he hadn't yet responded. Well, he had responded, let me take that back. He said he understood the premium was coming due on the 1st, and he would have something to us before then, because I had submitted the application that he sent to me to fill out, just with general
The
information.
1st of December or 1st of January?
1st of January, it
Okay.
expires, yeah. So I sent him a tickler today, and he responded that he hadn't gotten any lower premiums yet, but he's still waiting for a few other proposals, and I asked him, and he has not responded to this, what is the reason for such a significant increase?
Right.
Yeah, that's a,
On 16,000 from, what did we say, 4 or 5, I don't
Mhm.
remember. So we'll see what happens there. I filled out.
Well, my suggestion is that if he can't come up with something that's reasonable,
Mhm.
that we go out on our own and ask for a couple
Other
bids.
proposals
Go to State Farm or a couple
Yeah.
of, just see what we can do on the open
on our
market.
own. Okay.
Yeah, and John Scott is an independent agent here.
John Scott,
Yeah,
do you live in Durham Point? Oh, okay.
no.
John Scott.
Yeah, he's an independent insurance agent. Sometimes
Mhm.
you have better luck shopping with them. And I've not talked to him in a few years. I knew his wife.
Okay.
And if he's not doing it,
maybe-
somebody is, and the company still exists. So let me do a little
Okay.
digging for you.
That would be great.
And I'll
Appreciate
try to get back to you. I have some appointments tomorrow, but by
Okay.
Thursday.
Okay.
And
that'd be great.
I can give you a contact with State Farm too, not that I recommend them, but
Yeah.
just to get a,
Just to get some other
They-
ideas.
yeah, something to compare it
I
with.
mean,
Yeah.
they insure the yacht club, which is a hell of a lot more in terms of a risk,
Yes.
for buildings and things like that, and it's nowhere near what they were
Right.
quoting us.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I was very surprised. I'm calling it FinCEN, financial, I can't think of what it stands for now. Financial, where you have the transparency, where we had to enter the
Yeah,
officer's
right.
information. The site is fincen.gov, so that's what I put down here. I uploaded all that information November 25th, just so you know, it's done. It's not that big of a deal. And it's funny, you get all the, oh, I can help you do that, for a fee, $50 off your first,
Really?
unless I'm missing something. Like I got the response saying, we're good to go, good job. So I don't know. Working on the newsletter, as always. Just got the mosquito control cost, $916.80, so that's within the budget of $950. It just came in today's afternoon mail. And then also I'm working on the annual beach report. Has to go to MDE.
Oh, really?
Yep, every December
Oh, that's
9th.
right, yeah, we had to do 5 years or
Yeah,
something.
for 5 years.
Okay.
So I took pictures last week, and sand was in and around some of those grasses, so I thought I'm gonna go down and take another look. Maybe the winds have cleared it away a little bit, or maybe I'll have Joe remove some of it. I don't know, I don't think it's a
I
big deal.
wouldn't do anything.
Don't touch anything?
Yeah,
Don't,
I
just
wouldn't-
leave it natural.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
That's the whole idea, is to keep the grass in there, and it's
Okay.
gonna shift with the sand, and.
right. Well, I noticed the letter from last year even comments about, some of the sand, the tides and not the
Yeah.
tides, but, well, yeah, the tides, I guess, and the winds and so on. So, okay, I'll leave it. So that'll go in by the 9th, and that's it.
All right, roads.
Let's see, I applied for the blanket grading permit for road maintenance, and that's the permit we apply for every 2 years, just to be able to do the paving, any kind of general maintenance along the road's edge. $300 for the permit, which is interesting. We need to add that to the budget for a line item. I already talked with Jack about that today. Tree removal permits, $100 each.
Each tree.
Each tree, so the one at Leeson Cove and the one on the beach, $100. It's all online now, so a little different, took me a while to get hold of that. And then I talked with Steve today, and so the work that you guys approved, I think on 5 different sites for Grover's Landscape, that'll start in the next few weeks, hasn't started yet. He's requested a better price on those 2
Yeah.
from Grover's, I think one is, I don't know.
Yeah, they were.
Anyway, 2 other areas. He actually compared those to some work they had done similar in the past. And as far as like per foot price, it's a similar amount that they charged us before for that same type of work. So, but he asked regardless for a lower price, better price, and he's waiting for John Woods to come in.
Okay.
And
That's, yeah, if he does that,
that's
Due
what,
diligence,
just due
sorry.
diligence, exactly right. All right, and that's it.
Jack. Money.
Well, as every month, the budget, looks like where we should be, so there's no surprises, nothing noteworthy there. We and I did our monthly run-through of all the bills and bank accounts, and just kudos to Rita. I mean, it was all so nicely organized.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
I really didn't know how much detail was involved, but it's all very nicely done. And everything looks just great, actually. So, we've done the needful there.
Good.
That's good.
Thank you.
Bonnie, do you have anything on environment?
I don't, but maybe Jenny does.
Jenny's not here.
Yeah, she's not.
Oh,
here.
okay.
Missing in action.
I have nothing at this point.
Okay. Safety, John's still gone. Anything from him?
No, he's still in Texas. I don't know, Alan, do you want to talk about the cameras here? Are you gonna try to move them maybe?
I'm gonna try, if everybody's agreeable, I'm gonna try to move the one that's closest to the gate.
Yeah.
Kind of turn it around and see if we could get a license plate or something like that. This is the second incident that we had that we could see what was happening. The cameras are never really gonna have the capability of recognizing a person or being able to prosecute anything, but we might be able to get a license plate, so I'm gonna get with Steve and we're gonna just turn it around and see what we get.
Okay.
In that case, I think we would have, those 2 cars, those
Right.
4 kids were in 2 cars and.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But really, even if you had it aimed right at their, front of their car, the headlights,
The headlight could be a problem, yeah, I mean, it's not an overly sophisticated piece of equipment, but,
yeah.
we'll try, I mean,
More of a deterrent. Did the picnic table get put back?
yeah, Elise and I moved the picnic
Oh,
table.
yeah.
260 somethings in the water, moving a waterlogged picnic table.
I appreciate it, I was gonna ask Joe.
Like,
Well,
this is crazy.
A couple of years ago, there was a trash can that they had, kids
Yeah.
had put in water, it got waterlogged too.
Oh
It's
my
amazing,
God.
so.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. We waited for low tide and it was,
Yeah.
that was just
That's
kind
good.
of.
There's something else in the, pond there. I don't know if
It is.
it's part of a pier or something.
No, I think it's a picnic table or a picnic,
On the
bench or
pond
something.
side,
Yeah, upside down.
Yeah, because there's something, it's been there for a while, but I saw it and I didn't know if that was thrown in there too, or if that
No,
got there in a storm or what.
I think it got there in a storm. I think
Okay.
when the inlet was open, the inlet was open, and I could think it kind of floated and then it sunk.
Okay, because it's kind of, looks like it's upside down, like the corners are sticking out in the water.
Yeah, maybe when, in the spring or something, because it's gonna be probably waist high-ish, not counting how
Yeah.
much muck you end up in.
Yeah, it's not an easy.
It's not gonna be easy to get
spot
out,
to
it's
get,
not a gimme.
yeah.
I think we still have some of those waste boots or whatever. in-
Waiter.
Later.
Waiter, there, I knew there was a name.
There
Do
we
they
go.
not come up at the waist? If anybody wants to be
So-
brave and see if they leave.
I mean, if we can live with it, I'll take a look at it in the
Yeah, I think-
spring, or put a rope on it and pull it out. I have a feeling it's
It's
gonna be
heavy.
a foot and a half into the muck,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you don't want to
six.
mess up your
and
back.
then
Yeah,
More worried
Yeah.
about the heart attack.
yeah, no, yeah, that's not
Like, that's
good.
how the things happen, but yeah, I'll make a point of like, maybe in the spring,
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah, I was just curious about it.
It's been there a couple months.
Yeah, it has been.
Well, when we were down measuring the beach last time, there was a guy down there, remember he was actually
Oh,
pulling
yes.
some wood out,
He was.
but and so it, kind of the same deal, it looked like it was probably dock boards or
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
pure debris or whatever,
Yeah.
so. Okay, welcoming committee,
Not much of a report. I've distributed one in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks.
We got another 25 buckets.
There's, oh yes, thank you, I forgot about that. The buckets came into Ace and John, they
oh,
weren't in John. Jack brought them in.
Yeah, I'll be here until like Thursday of next week. I'm going down to North Carolina. I'll be here before that.
I have 3 still ready for
Okay,
distribution.
good. Okay.
I think things have just slowed
Slow
down.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
okay, the only thing I have on planning at Burke, we'll do another measurement, I think it's around, what that tell you, 19th, somewhere around
Something
there.
like that, it's in the last set of minutes.
Closest we could get to the solstice that was at a decent high tide and a decent time of the day. Let's see, okay, unfinished business, water access point. This is the Surf Street
It
fiasco,
is.
right?
It is, yes.
So you wanna talk about it, or you want me to talk about it, or what?
Well, I had a property owner contact me, I guess this is what you want to talk about, who noted that the area had been marked with the survey. And she noted that it appears that Mr. Martinez is encroaching on association property, I guess. That's what we talked about last time. She had asked that that be surveyed before and wondered why we didn't do it then, but we're doing, but we did it now. And I explained there'd been a boundary dispute with property lines and we felt that we should. So she wanted Tony's number, which I asked Tony and he was fine with that, but she's not called him yet. So I don't know what her intention is.
Yeah, you know, as far as I'm
Did
concerned.
you, last meeting you were saying that you're gonna notify Martinez, at least let him know what we were doing?
I set up a tentative meeting, but Mike wanted to wait, and rightly so, I kind of jumped the gun, so I canceled that. I guess once you guys discuss it and make a decision of some kind.
Well, Tony and I talked about it today. We do believe that we need to tell him why those markers are there.
Yeah.
And that it does involve, it does involve what he thought was part of his property. So, our first suggestion is tell him, what was done and why. Tell him it obviously looks like it impinges on what he thought was his lot. Suggest that he go back to his realtor, if he had one, and say, what the heck?
Mhm.
And he'll probably get nothing out of that. If he had title insurance on it, I don't know if he did or not, for that, a lot higher, but if he did, I would go to the title insurance company. And then basically, it's kind of in his court to decide what to do. Does he, you know, does he try to sue one of them? Does he try to come to us? He might come to us and say, well, is there some way I can acquire that, what I thought was my property back? You know, and then we can address that. But until we have that conversation, we don't really know where to go. I mean, it's, like Tony said at the last meeting, we're not in a position right now to tell him we're gonna give it back to him.
Yeah.
We would have to go to the membership and everything to be able to convey that property over. So I think we need to tell him what's going on, why, and then if he asks, make a couple suggestions to him on what he can start pursuing, and kind of leave it at that for now until we decide. We just talked about, the meeting should be you as a recorder, and Tony, doesn't need to be anybody else. He says, well, he wanted me there just because it had some background in it, but it shouldn't be any more than that, any more than 2 or 3 people. There's no sense in all of us being there and ganging up on him and all that, so.
Yeah.
Is ultimately a feeling of, if we get there, maybe it's putting the cart before the horse, if it's our property and ours board's responsibility to say, he's gotta move it off of what is ours, if he can't come up with some accommodation.
If it came to that. Or we could just ignore it and, you know, be benign and let him squat until somebody complains. But, you know, it'd be better to try to resolve it if there's some way to resolve it.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would find it uncomfortable if we if we kick the can down the road 20 years and all of a sudden, I forget what that law was, it would become,
Eminent domain or something.
become his,
Yeah.
or is it our
Adverse
responsibility? And maybe look, you might say, oh, wow, I messed up, get title insurance, move what stuff is on our property. And, you know, and we don't have to be aggressive, but do we get to a place where it's, ultimately, he is on ours and it is our responsibility to have him move it if he can't come up with a better plan.
Yeah, but maybe they'll come to that, who knows? I personally feel like he was taken advantage of by somebody,
But,
More
Yeah.
than one person.
probably more than one.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I hate to, you know, be too belligerent about it, but.
oh, and I'm not suggesting,
I don't think anybody wants somebody.
I'm not suggesting that, I mean, he got ripped off, and, we wanna be accommodating, it's, you know, we all live in a community,
And, you know, when it comes right down to it, we don't need that.
so.
It doesn't really benefit us any. And we don't want it to become an access point anyway, because it wasn't never intended for that. It was only intended to provide, to basically fence off that stream. Well, the stream was shifted, it could shift back, who knows?
Yeah,
But, you know, it's not like we want that property for beach access, or we want that property for some value, or whatever.
I was just wondering though, like, I mean, I don't know how these things work, but like, in the future, if the stream shifts, then we need that, you know, to accommodate the way the water goes out or
I
something.
just kind of feel like it's, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well,
It's not ours here to give to
Yeah.
him. It's a little bit, I mean, again, we want to be accommodating, and I'm not trying to be, maybe we're, you know, belligerent, that's a good, you know, I feel bad for the guy, he got screwed. But is it ours to give to him, or ignore it, and are we irresponsible to our membership if we do?
Well, that's why I suggested, there's a couple avenues that he could pursue right now about the transaction that he was in. And find out if he's got any recourse there, and maybe that'll lead to coming back to us and asking us if there is some way that he can acquire that land.
Can you?
Then we would have something we could take to the membership,
Yeah.
if it came to that.
Yeah, it needs to be brought before the membership.
Or
Yeah.
can you
That's
notify
kind of a little
him,
bit,
and just
I
say,
might feel
yeah, we
differently
did the
than you, but
survey,
this is not my decision.
we're notifying you that part of this is on ours,
Right.
and, for the time being, you can stay here, but we want you to know that part of this is,
Yeah, we should
DPPOA.
tell him that in some due course, it needs to be resolved.
Yeah,
But for now,
We can't just ignore it, but we're not gonna,
Right.
not
You
gonna
don't
kick
have
him,
to
not gonna kick him out of
everything
there
off of it
until this-
tomorrow or something.
until there is a
Yeah.
resolution on it.
Right.
so I have a question. If, on a undeveloped property, is there an obligation that a realtor or whoever have a title search done? Is that normal that a title search would be done for any sale of property?
I don't know.
Um,
The- Normally, if it's a secured purchase,
Mortgage, I
then they
guess,
require a title search.
for a mortgage, I mean.
Right. Now, if he paid out of pocket for it, that there may not have been.
I can look to see if there's, well, it's not my job to do that, but usually those mortgage deeds of trust, they're called, on land records, those show up when you do it.
It would show up in
Yeah.
the record.
I have a question, if I might. Rita, do you know who the previous owner was?
Yeah.
Was this an estate sale or something, or was there an actual previous owner that
His name was-
part of it?
Last name was Yerke, Yerkie.
Do we know who he is, or if he's alive or anything?
I have an idea, yeah, I've spoken with him a few times, he's not a very
Oh.
pleasant person.
Ah,
Back when Surf Street washed out, and we put that footbridge in there, this was before my time, he got very upset because, we put the bollards there as well.
Right.
And that blocked him being able to back his, like, watercraft
Mhm.
down, to his lot.
Mhm.
So he got very upset, and for a long time didn't want to pay his fees, and then back and forth on the phone. At one point, he listed it for 40,000.
yeah, so he obviously was part of this transaction, and he should be.
Yes.
He knows, he must have known what his property was, where his property was,
Yes.
I would assume.
Probably.
But I would imagine what he would say, and what the realtor might say is, we didn't tell you it was right there, and that you ought to put your stuff right there. We didn't tell you that was the property line. And I'm sure they didn't. They didn't walk down there with him and tell him anything.
There's not a lot of protection for the consumer
Yeah, no.
Maryland real estate.
No.
Rita,
You're on
one
your
time,
own.
did you say Min Vu was pushing this issue too?
Yes, and that was the one who noticed it had been staked. And I would guess if anybody was gonna put up a fuss, it would be Minville.
Is
No,
that
but she has,
He
but
was-
she
he
has,
was very good.
okay, but she has no personal stake in it. She would have to put up a fuss as a member of the community being denied access or something. So she'd be basically in the same court that Reed's in. And
Tony had mentioned that to me the
That's
other day. and
my unofficial response would be, none of your business.
Yeah.
We're working it with the owner and,
Okay, okay. So Alan, it's not the house up on the hill that has the swimming pool? It's as you
Yeah.
go up Surf and you come to Pine and Lake, it's a house on the right, as you're looking at Pine and Lake.
Oh, okay.
That's Minvu's. It's an Airbnb.
And she was very, I think, Martinez told me that she was very rude to him, since the beginning.
probably,
Very rude.
then I don't
And
know.
she's been rude to me too, like,
Oh,
she'll
yeah.
say things to me
They've
as
been
I'm
rude to a
walking the
lot of
dogs.
people.
I was gonna
So-
say,
We're
I
gonna-
think her name, the reason I was asking her name, I think she was, I think I've seen her be rude to others, like giving them a hard time.
Yeah,
That's like,
yeah.
nah, okay, I know who she is, I didn't know where she lived.
So,
She'll
I think,
ask me things, and I'm like, well, ask Rhea. Cause I'm like,
Thanks,
I'm with the
Sasha.
family, well, I know, but like, it'll be like Thanksgiving Day, and you're walking with the
I know.
family, and you
I
get
know.
attacked, and you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
this is not the time
You're-
or
you're right
place
to do that.
I'm just,
Give her my number.
yeah.
so anyway, I
Call
think
the
the
office.
next step would be for you to try to reschedule a meeting
Okay,
when Tony's available.
Okay.
That's gonna be a while.
wait a little while, I think, and then
Yeah,
see how he's
and if he
doing.
wants me there, I'll try to be there, but,
Okay. Yeah, I agree, I don't think we should hold
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
You have
it's
to
an
be
attack.
involved in that,
It doesn't feel good.
No.
Already doesn't feel good, I would imagine if I'm him.
Okay, so, any other new business from anybody? Okay. Then I will adjourn this meeting, and we're gonna have a little executive session.
Oh, yes.
Well, we can, Bonnie, if you wanna listen in, I can call you,
Okay,
I can,
what's
I
your
need to
number?
leave them.
Huh?
Her number is right here. Also.
it's a 301-509-7355.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, got it.
Okay,
I
all
know.
right.
So somebody needs to make a motion to go into executive session. I know, right?
I
How
make-
proper we are.
I make a motion, we go into.
I
executive
second
session.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, so
Done.
I'll fill out the rest of it.
Oh,
Because I
I guess
should leave
we
since
should
we're
have said
discussing.
the next meeting will be
Oh, yes,
before I
next
adjourn,
meeting.
sometime. Well, we got the general
Membership
membership
meeting.
meeting on the 21st.
Yes, I
10
forgot to mention.
I can't be here for that. I'll be gone the 21st.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna be gone the 21st.
Are you
No,
going?
no, I'm leaving later. Never mind, I'll be here.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 10 a.m. on the 21st.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm leaving right
And
after
then
that.
the next board meeting,
So, should be the 7th, and I won't be here on the 7th, I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah.
uh,
How about the 2nd, the Thursday?
if I look at the right month.
And I think Tony and Marta are going to Salzburg sometime in that time frame, so he may not be available, I don't know.
What about the 14th?
Well, he would be available then.
No, I mean, I'm just
Oh,
looking
for the rest
sort
of
of
us.
in general.
For me, I think it's okay, the 14th is, the 7th and the 14th are fine for me.
Either's fine for me.
Either's fine for me.
I'm gonna do the 14th since I'm not here on the 7th. Or you really could just set up the camera and, you know, whatever works.
I won't be here on the 14th.
Well,
So
we.
Bonnie, you're running the meeting.
Bonnie or Jackie said you're not, are you here?
I'll be
You know,
here
we
in
can always do it
January.
on a Thursday, like we did this last one, we did it in November, when we couldn't find a Tuesday that worked,
You do the 16th.
I won't be here.
For the 9th.
or the.
We can do the 9th,
I
but,
won't be here.
so,
I'm gone the whole week.
so is it,
No,
do we know when Tony's not here, or is it, or we just guessing?
last time I talked, I don't think she and Marta have made exact plans, but I think they're gonna be in sometime in January, they'd be gone for 3 or 4 weeks, so.
Probably going to Salvador.
Yeah.
What, do you wanna try the 9th?
I won't be here, if
You
that's
won't be
okay.
here.
with
You won't be here.
you. Is there anything wrong with pushing it, I don't know, to the 21st? I mean, that runs right in almost the next meeting on the 4th.
Well, I'm- Yeah,
What is your availability, Mike, since we don't know about Tony?
well, I'm available the week of the 6th, and I'm available the week of the 27th.
Okay. No.
The week of the 6th being here, so you could be there on the 9th, Thursday the 9th?
I could, but
I cannot.
I really
Okay.
would prefer that we do it when Rita's here, so she can.
Okay, so-
So
work.
why do we totally eliminate the 2nd?
Oh, no.
I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
The Thursday
No.
the 16th, maybe?
The
Thursday,
2nd.
Thursday the 2nd, because we're getting so close to
Oh,
the
okay,
end of the
that
month,
would- yeah,
it's like,
Yeah, the Thursday the 2nd would work for
I'll
me.
still be gone,
that's all right.
but, yeah.
I know you guys are going. Does the 2nd work for you, Marcia?
I fly back on the 1st, so
Yeah.
if,
You'll just be ready for a board.
yeah,
Mhm.
from Montana, so if everything's good, then I'll be back.
Well, as long as we get
Jet
it
lag, but.
Okay, so let's do this, let's tentatively schedule for the 2nd unless something else happens.
John Latham will be back, hopefully, not, you know, traveling.